Nicole Bonner with Thrive, and I'm here with a good friend, a longtime friend. Shoot, Allison, we've known each other for a long time. Allison Carlson. I put out a post. I wanted to see who in the profession wanted to contribute to doctors who are opening practices and chiropractic students, and Allison was one of the first people to raise her hand for a contribution, as she usually is. So I'm so glad that you connected with me. And today, Allison is going to share with you guys something that she's really passionate about, and that is having team core values. You know, core values for your office and your team, and what that looks like. And Allison, I got to be totally honest. I'm so glad that you're sharing this, because this is not an easy topic to teach.
Yes, thank you for putting the pressure on. I'm going to do my best. It's something I'm so passionate about in the office. I wouldn't practice without them. We've used company core values for so many years, and it really helped my practice thrive. So, gosh, if I would have started this way when I opened my practice, I feel like I could have, maybe taken out a couple of steps, gotten places faster. So hopefully I can help.
So, like, if you had this knowledge way back when, you would have saved you a bunch of time and a bunch of money.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
awesome.
Yes.
Good. Well, let's share it. Let's share it with these students so that they can save a bunch of time and a bunch of money.
Okay. So, well, one, thank you for having me on. Teaching students, I raised my hand quickly because I had not all, thank God, but a couple really terrible associate positions. And the things that you don't want to experience. And I almost quit. And thankfully, I had family, friends, loved ones that really believed in me, knew that chiropractic was my passion, that they could see, what was to come, and they wouldn't let me give up. So we need to do better, in my opinion, as a profession to really help those that are starting out, those that we need more good chiropractors. So therefore I am here. And we need to elevate our offices, which is where company core values come in. So when I am talking about core values, what I always say when I'm explaining it to my team is that we are combining profits. So we have to make money so we can pay our bills, right? And I got 4 kids at home. I need to feed them. They have activities, right? So this combines profit with our passion, and we're adding in our purpose. Okay. So if you can go to work every day and you're working towards your profit, what you're passionate about, and what your being, what your core values, what your purpose are, then it feels like you just get to go to work and you play around all day and you have fun, and your team are your people, your practice members, your patients, whatever you want to call them, they are your people. As like, I just get to go to work and hang out with all my best friends all day long. And they pay me to come say hi, right? And so you create this culture where everything is just beautifully, easily taken care of you. Okay. So that's why I think you should have company core values. The next thing is, like, if you've never thought of this, if you've never maybe you've thought about like what your own core values are. So I have certain things that are important to me, right? Family is one of my core values. Honesty is one of my core values. Fun is one of my core. Those are my personal core values. And that gets sprinkled into the office a little bit. But this is like, as a company, as my office is called Carlson Chiropractic, what is important for us? So these are going to be more what I would call behavioral core values. So what do we want to think, say, and do? Okay. So for example, so for us, we have 5 company core values, and I'll just tell you what our 5 are. So number 1 is a wow patient experience. This one came from, so my husband worked for Starbucks for years and years. And he is my wow patient experience guru, right? So if every chiropractic office could have like the Starbucks experience, they wrote a whole book on it, right?
Mhm.
And so I want my office to be my patient's safe place. I want my patients, when they're having a really stressed day, want to come to my office. I want it to be their haven of health and healing, right? So we're going to have this wow patient experience. Another one is embrace growth and change. So as chiropractors, we have to do continuing ed. Things change. We need to learn new computer systems. To age myself, we were talking about this before we hit record. Facebook wasn't a thing when I opened my office. It didn't even exist, you guys. And so I was like the old crabby lady, and I resisted for a long time. And so many people, you need an office Facebook page. I'm like, nobody needs that. That didn't exist. Well, so part of embracing growth and change, there's going to be new techniques that we need to learn. There's going to be new insurance policies, Medicare regulation, whatever. There's going to be technology changes. We need to embrace growth and change. Love the team. We're very team oriented. My team they're my rock stars. They are everything. And so we have to have, so that's kind of like I said, what my individual core value is family, loving my team. My team's my family. Okay. I'm like mama bear all over them, right? Being congruent. To me, I will pitch that every chiropractic office should have this as one of your core values. But I preach chiropractic, exercise, nutrition, and mindset every single day to all of my patients. Every person on my team, they work out regularly. Okay. They all eat healthy. Now, these are not things that when they come to the interview process that I'm like, do you exercise? What did you eat for breakfast? Right. But when I ask them specific questions when I'm hiring to see if they organically align. Right.
I love that.
So and so why do we do that? Well, because they're already my people, right? So we have a Dairy Queen across the street from our office. Well, it's a joke when somebody walks in with Dairy Queen, like, I mean, come on, you're in the office to get adjusted, doing something healthy. Like, I don't want somebody getting adjusted and then immediately eating ice cream, let alone Dairy Queen ice cream, where it's got sprinkles, it's got cookie stuff in it, it's got like all kinds of processed chemicals and whatever. And so my team, they just laugh because they're like, oh dear Lord, you are brave bringing that thing into the office. They will only do it once. And I do it in a loving way. But when they already eat healthy, when they already exercise, these are their core values. These are their principles. So even if a scenario happens that we haven't talked about it, they are more likely to respond in a way that I would. Okay. So I feel like I don't have to teach as many things. I don't have to be such a stickler because these are my people. And then my last one is to have fun. Okay. So we have to have fun in the office. This goes with the wow patient experience. If it's not fun, people aren't going to come. If it seems like work, people are going to make excuses to no show, right? So we have patient appreciation days, we have smoothie days, we have random days that if you come in and you answer trivia questions, we'll have a raffle. We want them to have these little incentives that even though, like you have a stomach ache, or I live in Iowa, so you might have a random nice weather day. We're like very up and down with our weather right now. And when you have a nice day, you get off work and you want to go be outside and you want to go for a walk. Well, I want them to be like, but I have a chiropractor visit and I'm going to go get adjusted and then I can go have fun. But if they don't have these like positive endorphins in their brain about our office, it's a lot easier to make excuses why not to come. Now, I'm sure you are all over, there's a patient education standpoint. You do all the things, you set up the care plan, you add value. But these are the things that subconsciously will get your patients to show up, right?
Right.
When it's hard. These are the things that when they really want to go to bed, but they have home care exercises to do, that they're going to be like, oh, I got to tell Dr. Allison whether I did this tomorrow or not. But they're going to have enough positive things in their subconscious mind and their brain, those endorphins going, that they want to do it. And that's what we want in the end, right? We want patients that align with our mission, with our purpose. We just want to lead them along. And then what happens? Then they love us. Then they tell all their friends, they talk about us all the time, and they refer their people in, which, if Nicole, if you're my ideal patient, I want all your friends, because if you're willing to hang out with them and I like you, then I'm probably going to like them as well. And so it just creates this super fun, beautiful, simple flow to your office that we all want and desire. So that's kind of my initial spiel. That was really quick. That was a lot of information. You want me to break it down a little bit more? What do you think? What questions do you have?
Well, a couple, shoot, you were talking and I had so many questions. Number one, one of my takeaway so far from what you said was that creating company core values is absolutely essential to create a foundation for the culture of your practice. So it sounds like by creating these company core values, your patients know exactly what to expect when they're coming into you. They know exactly who you are. They know exactly what's going to happen to them, and they're loving it, because not only are you providing fun, which is one of your top core values, but you're hitting so many of their human needs all at one time. So like each one of your core values is meeting each one of your patients' top human needs, which we know that the 6 human needs, right? And
Right.
we know one of the things that was just refreshing was, if we can meet the 6 human needs that Tony Robbins goes through, right? They'll like never leave our practice, because because chiropractic in our practice becomes not something that they do, but who they are. It becomes their habit.
Yes.
And that goes
Yes.
back to what you said, where, you get done with work, you're really tired, and you're like, oh, I don't, I'm supposed to do my dental, I'm supposed to do my traction at my home care or whatever. And I'm so tired, I don't want to do it. But, but you do it, and you do it because it becomes their habit. It becomes who they are.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so it's that easiness of it, where like, yeah, you're just surrounded by your people. We have those, what is it, Maslow's needs of, you have that connection. You have that like self-actualization, where this is our purpose. This is our passion. But so like you talked about, so we have our company core values. So I gave you our 5. I will say, a lot of the offices that I work with, like simplicity is a really common one.
I love that.
Said earlier, so I have 4 kids, and they're all in sports. I own a business, I have a podcast, all these things. So simplicity isn't really my thing, and so I am very big with systems and organization, but I don't necessarily care if it's simple, right? But some people are like, I am all over simplicity, some people are very what are some other comments? So some people use the word mastery as a company core value. I say embrace growth and change. I am not big on mastering. To me, I feel like mastering is like that type A, where you can't proceed until you've mastered it. And I want to learn a little bit and go and autocorrect along the way, right? So kind of that speed of implementation thing. But the thing is, like, your core values, they're yours, right? So the core values of the office and of the patients support, like you said, the standards in the office. So depending on what technique you're practicing, is there going to be home care? Are they required to be in the office 3 times a week? Are they, what are the things that if they align with the values, the standards get easier. So as you kind of trickle down the line of the specifics, the core values are what we own as a person. And so when everything resonates that way, we're so much quicker to get to that yes, whether it's for our team, because our team's on fire, right?
Mhm.
Because we have these core values, we're working together, everybody has ownership of it. We actually, so our team, we review, I have a 1-page like description of each value. And then we have like questions at the end in like if you're the front desk, if you're back office, if you're the rehab CA, or like where do you come in? Where does the doctor come in, right? So
Right.
for example, from a doctor standpoint, embracing growth and change, one of the things for me to show up for that core value is that I got to call patients out on their bullshit, right?
Mm.
So I have
Mhm.
to embrace their growth and change. And that's where I show up. That's not the job of like my front desk CA. Okay.
Right.
And so, where do I, as much as like having fun is one of my core, like I'm either having fun or I'm super serious. There's not a lot in between. And so I sometimes in the office, like I have to design it to remember to have fun, because I get
Mm.
pretty go, go, go. And you just walked in with Dairy Queen. What in the world are you thinking? And so I have these checkpoints. Like I have toys in the office. So I will stop and play with the kids and have a little
Mhm.
bit of fun. We have windows in our adjusting room, and we're like drawing on the windows all the time. And so I have like little things in the office that are reminders that are in my face, instead
Mhm.
of the team going through and being like, okay, what did I do today to embrace growth and change, or to love on my team? Or so like every Tuesday I bring my team Starbucks. Like I just show
Mhm.
up and I bring them Starbucks. So that's one thing that I do that I appreciate on them. Once a month when we do our team meetings, we leave the office and we do it somewhere outside, and we do it like we have like a pickleball place that has food. So we
Mhm.
had an irregularly nice Friday, so we went and did that so I could love on my team, we could have fun, we were having a meeting, we were embracing growth and change. And so
I love
and
that.
we're talking about, so everything that we do is packaged up into these core values.
I love that. Now, Allison, when you guys create company core values, do you create the core values or do you have your team create them? Like, do you guys sit
So
down and say, like, what are, like, let's create our core values, or is it something that you create and like give to them?
I originally, when I created them, I went online and I like Googled examples of company core values, and I had like a big list, and I did it myself. And this was like like it's a big list, you cross them off, whatever. And
Mhm.
so I came up with I think I had like 10, maybe 10's too many. Okay.
Mm.
So over the years, so I came up with the words, and because I am essentially like everything falls on me. I make the decision. In the end, I make all the final decisions. So they had to be really strongly embedded in me. I had 10 words. I brought them back to my team. And then we whittled it down. We actually whittled it down to 7. And then we decided over time that that was too many. And then we've had 5 for a lot of years, probably 8 years or
Mhm.
so. But then as a
Mhm.
team, we came up with a description of what does that mean? And what does
Mhm.
that mean for each position? because quarterly we go over specifically the company core values and how can we do better at the front desk? How can we do better with billing? How can we do better in marketing? How can we do better in the rehab area? And so we see, and it's a conversation. So there's a lot of ownership with the team, and they see like, where can I bring value into the office?
I love that. I love that. And I think that's so important is that's one of the things I found over the years with team is creating amongst other things, but creating that ownership.
Yeah.
You know, and even in the language, even in my own language, instead of, you know, I no longer refer to the practice as my practice, it's our practice, or my patients, it's our patients. And I think that really builds a lot of love and connection amongst the team as well.
Yes, yes. And it is amazing when you have a team member and you give them a task to run with. And then, and as business owners, sometimes I'm a little nervous about it. I'm like, oh, I don't know how they're going to do. And then they flourish. And then they come up with these ideas that you didn't even come up with, or maybe it's an idea that you would have come up with, but they do it in a different way and it's better. And it didn't take work out of me, but when they know at a core like what the office is about, they're so much more in tune with our goals, where we're going, the bigger picture, the mission, and chiropractic, it's not one-to-one. We're not just trying to make a difference with the person laying on the table. We are trying to impact the entire community, the entire world. And so we need everyone in our office to be as excited and pumped up as we are, but we don't need them to they don't need to be able to explain a subluxation and why the curve in the spine is so important. And, I want them to know the basics of it, the gist, but they don't need to know the science, but they need to know the basics of health and what we're doing. And when they're excited and they want to help and their brain's flowing, then it just happens so much more seamlessly.
That's awesome. And I have just two more questions, because believe it or not, this 30 minutes went by so fast. So time always flies when you're having fun and being productive. But do you keep your core values up any place? Like, do you keep them on your wall in your back office, or do you have them? Where do you guys keep them?
Yeah, thank God for Canva. We have like a pretty Canva poster that has, it lists them, and then just like a one word kind of like mission statement for each core value. And that is displayed. And then everybody has like the printout, like the longer description of it, that they have. We have binders, and so they have it in their binders, so they have access to it. We refer to it a lot, we talk about it a lot, but yeah, we have like this really pretty poster so that it is always on our mind.
That's awesome. I love that. And in closing, my last question for you is, if I was either a chiropractic student or I was just graduating, getting ready to open a practice, and I've never done core values before, this is something I've never seen before, where would you tell me to go to get started on something, on writing my company core values?
Yeah. So I mean, I know that there's probably quizzes out there and things, whatever. Just Google company core values, and it'll give you a list. I sat in a hotel room for like a 24-hour period doing planning, and it was quiet, and it was something that I looked at for, I worked on for an hour, I let it go, thought about something else, I came back to it, and just think about, honestly, I would do your own personal core values first, and then, because your company core values are going to complement yourself as a person. There's going to be a little bit of spillover, but I would start there. And if you don't have a team, write up a description yourself. If you have a team, include them in, what does this word mean to you? What does simplicity mean to you? What does have fun mean to you in your position? And then come up with that description together. So honestly, it's Google a list of core values and then pen on paper and some soul searching and where do you want to go, and trust yourself.
Awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Trust yourself. I
Right?
think that's huge. Like like the nugget out of this, maybe this whole half hour, there are lots of golden nuggets out of it, out of this whole half hour, but trust yourself.
Yeah.
Learn to trust yourself. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what core values are. It's just like, this is you. This is putting yourself out there, and trust that your community needs you. You're already a chiropractor, so we know that the world needs you.
Yeah, absolutely. Authenticity. And that's
Yep.
why I love starting with yourself, because that's what's going to make your practice authentic to you.
Yep. Yep. And that's what sets you apart.
All right, guys. Well, Allison, thank you so much for doing this with me today and having fun, because I think I'm going to sit down and rewrite my core values with my team.
I love it. Love it.
I love it too. All right, Allison. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll talk soon.